welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is former Transportation Minister of Ukraine, Vasyl Savchenko. Vasyl, it's a pleasure to have you on again.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Vasyl, since the past 2 weeks, a lot have happened back there in Ukraine, especially in Kyiv. A lot of bombardment would have ramped up, causing like 88,000 residents now to be placed in heating shelters around that region. But more importantly, again, is that recently, I think it's this week, that in Abu Dhabi, we had both trilateral peace talks with United States, Ukraine, and Russia. What's going on here? It seems that peace talks are coming together, but the intensity of ramping up the bombardment in Ukraine seems to be even more. What's going on?
I can say, referring for Ukraine's president's opinion, because just now his last news that the meeting which was scheduled in United Arab Emirates have taken place and have ended. And he commented that there were represented three sides. Russia, Ukraine, and United States representatives who are mediators in these negotiations. But I haven't received details of these negotiations, and to be honest, I can say my own opinion and my expert's opinion, because we can see that Russia is not interested in any ceasefire. We have spoken about it many times, and we can see that it's type of playing games just to have benefits. Just we can see, for example, they are looking for the instruments for negotiations with Ukraine about ceasefire. But nevertheless, when we are reading their demands from 20 point, 28 point, we will see that they have a question to the world society. They have question to European Union, they have question to United States, etc. But Ukraine is side of negotiations, and Russia's opposite side. Why? For example, world society have to renew their participation in the world economy. Why they have to become again influential country, because we can see that Russia is discredited their type of waging war. Now we can see that they are fighting not with Ukraine's army. They have done nothing important during this during this 4 years. This war lasts longer than Second World War lasted, and now we can see that they are demanding different concession, but nevertheless their army is unable to move ahead. Why we have to follow their recommendation? Ukraine side is interested to save up our soldiers' life. Ukraine is interested in development. Ukraine is interested in stopping this unhuman hits by drones, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles during this winter, when we have the weather about -4 Fahrenheit. -4 every night, and they have destroyed destroyed power stations, heating stations, electrical heating and power stations. For example, you can see that today they launched to Ukraine about 400 different type of ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, drones, different type of drones. Ukraine forces have managed to intercept 95 or 96%, but they are launching for a station which is providing the heating key ones. They are targeting, for example, few ballistic missiles, few cruise missiles, and dozen drones. Exactly, they managed to saturate through Ukraine defense forces. And
Okay, I've lost audio.
I'm ready to answer. Sorry.
I don't know if you can hear me, but it seems to me that nothing that Russia stipulated in the past, assuming peace agreements in terms of the reduction of the Ukraine's military and to yield the land in which they would have destroyed already over to Russia, is any foundation for any peace agreement. It seems that the only thing that Russia is trying to do is to stall time to recoup and finish what they have started. With this vision in mind from Russia, I don't expect you to probably have a knowledge or understanding of what's going on here. What would be Ukraine prime strategy going forward in the future? Because if it goes on this way, it seems that this war is going to go on for a very long time. What would be the coping and preparational process of even advancing more to get Russia to subside? Now, I'm saying that because Russia right now is in an economic disaster. I mean, the state of the economic stability is really, really at a very, very low level. And they're catching at what straw they can grab onto. What strategic plans do you think Zelensky may have to counteract this and at least be the one to call the shots going on in this war?
First of all, I'd say
that is a tough one.
Yeah. First of all, we have the same strategy to defend our country, and we are doing it different way. First of all, we know that Russia is unable to defeat Ukraine forces. And because of it, they are using different type of destroying Ukraine's economy. First of all, they are trying to destroy Ukraine's economy, to destroy residential area, to destroy all Ukrainian facility. And we can see that they are interested in having control above Ukraine, not part of Ukraine. They are willing to demonstrate that they are interested in negotiation. It's something wrong. All this negotiation, it's misleading idea just to demonstrate that they are ready, they are open, and they are trying to avoid economical collapse, because you said that their economy is vulnerable and now is at the brink of collapse. And they are trying to avoid. They want to receive opportunity to export their oil, and they are ready to export different type of natural materials just to support economy and to continue weaponizing, because Now we can see that Russia has restructured their type of economy, and mostly it's country which is producing weapon, and they are producing it at the expense of social care and health care, etc. And now they are ready to provoke further just to hold under control Ukraine and Europe. They want to save up their force, and they are ready to restart, and then will continue. And it has happened many times when Russia was waging different type of war with their neighbors. And now I can see that this type of negotiations, it's type of game, because before they will demand something impossible, and they will tell that they are ready to continue negotiations, but they are actually interested in time, and the same moment they are bombing Kiev and the residential area, because in a couple of days we will not have frosty weather. We will have better conditions, and now they are distracting Ukraine's power, because Ukraine's power have to pay attention for rebuilding these stations, electrical stations and heating stations, just to allow Ukrainians to live ordinary life. And then heaviest hit took place when they were trying to demonstrate their opportunities using hypersonic missiles, and it happened in the moment when Ukraine didn't have Patriot missiles to intercept ballistic missiles, and they from the very beginning destroyed it, and them continued shelling Ukraine's facilities. After that, they have done it many times, sending hundreds drones and dozen different type of missiles. And then we can see that when we are speaking about peace, our partners are participating in these meetings, because our partners are interested in ceasefire, and them support from our partners in the sphere of providing anti-ballistical missiles for Patriot systems are suspending. The number of missiles is not enough to intercept, and as a result, we face huge challenges to survive. And nature is fighting on Russia's side. But I think that they will not be able to make Ukrainians to surrender, and they will not be able to do it, because it's only strengthening Ukraine's nation.
I want to ask you a question here. So apparently, recently, you can see a clear differentiation in world, or fragmentation actually, in world leadership. And what I mean by that is that we see that the European nations are standing very strong with Ukraine, which is very good. They are there for Ukraine. We see that recently that the United States leadership portraying the same ideologies that Russia is portraying, trying to covet Ukraine, whereas in this nation leadership, they're trying to go to Venezuela. And obviously, yes, we understand they get out a leader that wasn't legally the rightful elected leader for Venezuela. That's not a problem, but then going after their natural resources, the oil reserve is a different story in itself. We see the concept of trying to take over Greenland, where they can set up bases, and I don't have a problem with that, but my philosophy is that it's a sovereign nation and it's entitled to its sovereign rights and it should not be taken over by force. It looked a little bit too ancient in ideologies, and going after some African nation for their resources. I see this, when I look at that and look at Russia aligning itself with the same concept of trying to take over Ukraine, then how can, and obviously China leadership got their eyes set on Taiwan also. When you see all this happening and North Korea assisting Russia to fight Ukraine, I see a big segmentation, but worse yet, America, who was the leader of the free world and the leader of democracy, I see the separation from being a democratic society now into a dictatorial society. Even on its own land, we see those traits going on. How much longer with all this going on and the philosophy of American leadership is changed, how much can Ukraine then rely on America with the same philosophy as Russia's president, Putin? How can we depend? How can Ukraine depend then on America?
First of all, I'd like to say that Ukraine forces have imposed huge sanctions for Russia Federation. First of all, you can see that Ukraine forces are blocking for international export Russia's natural material from Black Sea. And as a result of it, we can see that they have to go to follow to these negotiations, because we have seen many sanctions Western countries which have imposed for Russia Federation, but it has no direct influence. And Ukraine forces for more than 40% is provided by Ukraine. We have 40% and going to have 50%, and we are going to produce a weapon in Ukraine. And Ukraine's company is growing to have more and more contracts for providing military forces. You know that then we can see that the war has changed the type of waging war. Ukraine is one from the biggest producers drones, and Ukraine, you remember from the very beginning, started fighting by drones because of lack of weapon from different sides. And now you can see that Ukraine has big army. This army is equipped exactly. Our army has advantages and disadvantages, but nevertheless we can see that we are ready to suspend Russia's offense. The biggest nuclear weaponized country enable to move in Ukraine. Ukraine stopped them. And then when we are speaking about relations among NATO bloc, we can see that United States official, not military forces arrested dictator, and now we can see that he was part of Russia's empire. And positive news that just after that were arrested about 10 tankers which were transporting oil from Venezuela to China, and it was sold by Russia. And Russia's crew were at these ships, and there are a lot of moments we can discuss, but for Ukraine it's positive moments. Concerning Greenland, I'd say that I cannot cannot condemn United States president, because he is demonstrating support for Ukraine, and I cannot say that he can do something wrong, but among European Union countries and the NATO bloc, a lot of questions, because as usual, when Europe has serious threats from Russia's side, which is united with North Korea and China and Iran, I don't think that it's good time for discussion concerning taking somebody's land, and without permission it doesn't work. And then, as far as I know, Denmark is ready to provide military base for military forces of United States. And as far as I know, this the base which is located there was providing Ukraine's military aircraft, which was transporting there a lot of oil and different type of goods, which is necessary for military forces. Because Ukraine, you know that Ukraine is one from the biggest producer cargo plane in the world. But now the situation is suspended because we have no market for it. But Ukraine's producer is one from the biggest in the world, which is producing biggest cargo planes. And then we can see that the situation, I hope this situation will be resolved in favor of United States and Denmark, and as a result European Union, because United States, I'm afraid, will not be able to resist this excess of evil without partners. And then our partners, European Union, understand what is going on in Ukraine, and they have seen many challenges, and they saw how it works. And then we can see that Russia has launched different type of war. For example, first of all, this war is being held in the media sphere, in the sphere of propaganda. Our European partners have seen many unknown drones above their runways in different airports, and we saw that Russia's sabotage group penetrated to Poland and wanted to arrange the explosion railway. And all these moments are demonstrating the same strategy to European Union and the United States. You can see that United States have understood that Russia's poisoning news are penetrating to United States and distorting current events, because any news, any action from Russia's Federation, as usual, it's special operation. It is not based for repeating, for referring, etc. Because all these moments, it's this special operation and is focused on harmful action to different countries.
Yes. I only mentioned that earlier about Greenland from the standpoint that even if America had want to acquire a piece of land from Greenland for the purpose of protecting us from China and Russia in the event of a war, to establish a base there, it should be done through a legal and a diplomatic agreement between the nations, opposed to be going by force to try to take it as once mentioned. So I just want to clarify that. But with all this going on, Ukraine has its own battle right now to fight and to get through this winter. Would Ukraine be setting up more and more heating facilities for its citizens at this point? Because we are going into a very treacherous winter, and everyone's going to need that formation of heat. So is that something that is strategically pinpoint right now as one of the major goals for Ukraine?
Yes, now it's only confirmed that we are with our partners and the United States under hybrid war influence from Russia's, China, North Korea and Iran's unity. Because first of all, when we speak about this conflict, they are trying to use it. They, for example, are trying to use different elements United States current policy against United States, and they are trying to use it against Europeans. And then now the situation looks it's at least silly, because when we are ready to resist, we must understand it's impossible to arrange with them something they are ready. I can see that United States president is trying to arrange something like a council